she's one of Broadway's biggest stars.
I will always be somebody's dream girl.
And then a certain television role made her a household name.
Oh, that's Moesha Mama.
Part Jamaican.
I am wicked.
With roots in Africa.
You share ancestry with the T-card people who are artists.
I once was lost, but now I'm found.
Mother. Author.
Read my book.
Activist.
It's the longest consecutive running musical AIDS benefit in the country.
SHERLY Ralph.
All I'm doing is what I believe God put me here to do.
We recently sat down with the iconic diva at her home in LA. So, Miss SHERLY, thank you so much for having us today.
Good to have you here.
Tell me about Diva, because I feel like you've achieved so much through Diva, your foundation.
Diva, my foundation, I founded the Diva Foundation about 22 years ago as a living memorial to the many friends that I had lost to AIDS.
What does Diva stand for?
Divinely inspired, victoriously AIDS aware. Now, had this been Sunday and we were in church, it would have been divinely inspired, victoriously anointed. Yes.
I love it.
Thank you.
What did Diva do to help move that movement forward and bring some light onto AIDS?
Well, I think it's the fact that we've been here for 22 years. 22 years, Divas Simply Singing is the longest consecutive running musical AIDS benefit in the country.
And here we are on the red carpet at the 22nd annual Divas Simply Singing.
I'm so happy to be here to support her every year in this great cause.
You know what, 22 years is a lot of time to do anything for that long and be successful with it and stay committed to it. And she does.
I met her when I got in the business 8 years ago, and she embraced me. She's an amazing big sister. She's an incredible humanitarian, but moreover, she's an excellent teacher. She teaches you how to be just one of those amazing souls who care about other people and give back.
I think that she's been an amazing example for, women all across America, especially what she's doing here with the AIDS Foundation. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
We've never missed a year. And every year, I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it happens every year by the sheer will and determination of me dragging other people along with me. It's got to happen.
But 30 years ago, before the foundation took off, SHERLY lit up Broadway in the hit musical Dreamgirls. Did you know it was going to be so huge?
Dreamgirls, I knew from the very beginning was going to be a big hit. First of all, we were unique, we were original, nothing like that had ever been done before. Here you had a cast of obviously black girls up on stage singing and swinging and living their dreams and all. It was amazing.
Did you have a chance to see Dreamgirls 2006?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I went to see the movie.
What did you think?
You know what? Anytime, I consider Dreamgirls like my child, so anytime your child grows up and goes one step beyond what you did, it's always a great thing. For most people, I will always be somebody's dream girl, followed closely by, oh, that's Moesha Mama. Not Moesha's mother, Moesha Mama. Moesha was an incredible series. It was generational in its effect, in that you could watch Moesha with your mother, your grandmother, and we were able to really hit subjects that people might not have wanted to talk about before. But we talked about it. We talked about drug use. We talked about birth control. We talked about dating outside of the race. We had all of those sorts of episodes.
Successful beyond television and Broadway, SHERLY has also appeared on the big screen with some of Hollywood's big names. What was it like working with Denzel Washington, Robert De Niro, Danny Glover? Who was your favorite?
They were all my favorite. And working with Denzel was better than you can think. I got paid to kiss him, and I'd have probably done it for free had he not been such a happily married man. Danny Glover, amazing. He and I worked together in a film called To Sleep with Anger, for which I won the Independent Spirit Award for Best Supporting Actress. So that was amazing. Sidney Poitier, Mr. Sidney Poitier looked at me one day as a young woman, my first role, Piece of the Action, I'm 19 years old, and he said, "SHERLY, Ralph, I expect great things from you." Yeah. Robert De Niro was a consummate professional who gave me some of the best advice of my whole career. He and I were working on a movie called Mistress, and I played his mistress, and we were in between scenes, and he said to me, "You are really good." He said, "You are so good, people need to know who you are, but they're not looking for you. Hollywood is not looking for the black girl. So you better be aware that you must climb that mountain, wave the red flag, and let them know that you are there." And I was like, wow. It looked ominous, the rocks coming up out of the sea. It looked like it was going to swallow you up, like it was going to kill you. That was hard.
Tell me about where you grew up. You were a little bit in Jamaica, a little bit in New York, and now you're here in Los Angeles.
That's right. I always tell people I grew up in the world. I'm not of the world, but I definitely grew up in the world. Like you said, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm one of those kids that spent every summer of their life running in the hills of Jamaica. As soon as school was over in June, you were on the plane back to Jamaica, and as soon as September came and you got your hair braided, you are back on the plane to the States to go to school.
So, being a citizen of the world,
Yeah.
you've just recently discovered that you're originally from
Cameroon.
You share ancestry with the T-Car people who are artists. They are known for their artistry in the country of Cameroon today.
Red, gold, and greens, I still have that touch of Jamaica right there. For me, as a black American, there's a block usually on finding out who and where your people come from. You know, you can usually find out who they were up till slavery. Beyond slavery, there was that steel trap door. You couldn't find that out. And I was just like, wow, who are my people? What's given me this look? What makes me, me? And to really have the miracle of DNA and to be able to be tested, to find out that my mother's people come from the Cameroon. Wow.
So why the emotion?
Because I know where my people are. Where are your people from?
Egypt.
How do you feel?
Great.
Thank you.
Yes.
So imagine what it would be like to be you in Hawaii, to look at yourself and know that you're from someplace else, but not be able to put your finger on it.
Absolutely.
How would that make you feel?
Lost, yes.
Exactly. So, it was like I once was lost,
And now I'm found.
but now I'm found.
Later that year, SHERLY joined the Arc Jammers Reconnection Program, a group dedicated to reuniting the descendants of enslaved Africans to the land of their ancestors. And they made a spiritual journey back home to the Cameroon.
400 years later to come here after being able to find out through DNA that I'm a Cameroonian, it's major.
Did you ever feel like you were one of them?
It was odd. I'd look at the women and it's like, oh my God, that's my aunt. Or gee, that's my grandmother. It was surreal. They sat the same way. And I thought, that's strength.
Could you see yourself in them?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What did they think of you?
When I went to Cameroon, I would walk on the street and the little girls would say to me, I want to be black like that. I want to look like her. You know, it just really made you rethink everything that you thought about yourself. It was amazing.
Beautiful.
A lot of people did not know how much involvement the Cameroon had in the exportation of slaves. There wasn't the proof. Well, the proof became obvious when so many people came up from the Cameroon once the DNA was tested. It was like, well, something must have gone on here. And they found where the ships were docked. And they did this whole purification ceremony. A lot of the bridges and the walks that the slaves took, you know, walking from Cameroon into the Atlantic Ocean, they were all covered up by hundreds of years of secrets and vines and woods. And last year it started to be uncovered. So everybody's like, wow, now we have to talk about this, because for so long it had been shh. That was really deep to walk and to find out that the slaves were taken from high on the mountain and walked some 30 miles to the sea to be put on ships. This is the last thing that they saw. This was it. They took that long walk down, and for a lot of them, it was the very first time that they saw the ocean. They had come from the mountains. They hadn't seen the coast or what it looked like. And to this day, it's still a difficult journey. It was frightening. It looked ominous. The rocks coming up out of the sea. It looked like it was going to swallow you up, like it was going to kill you. Wow, that was hard. I wish more people had an understanding of what Africa really is. Too many people think that it is monkeys and alligators in the swamp, in the bush, and barefoot, ignorant people. They have no idea of the great wealth that is there in the culture, in the language, in the fabric, in the food, in the people, in the education. I mean, they have absolutely no idea what is the true magnificence of Africa. You must be educated. You must be able to sit down and have dinner with presidents around the world, because when you enter the room, the whole race enters with you.
Whenever she walks into a room, she lights up the room. All eyes are on her. And if I could only grow up to be half a man as she is a full woman, then I think I've gotten somewhere in life.
And you have two beautiful children, too.
Yes, I do. Who make me proud.
Yes, they are.
Who make me proud. When I send my children out in the world, the reports I get back are, you did a great job. You should be proud. And I'm like, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
What was the most fulfilling or the happiest moment of your life?
I would really think being able to fulfill my role as a mother. To be a mother, to know that when I leave this world, I will leave the world better for having had those two people. They will carry on. What is it? There'll be one child born in this world to carry on, to carry on.
Your husband, he's a state senator.
Yes, I have an incredible husband.
You must do.
I commute between Los Angeles and Philadelphia with my husband, State Senator Vincent Hughes. You know, we commute back and forth, but we make it work. Every 2 weeks, I see him, he sees me, and trust me, he's happy to see me. You know, my dad recently passed away to prostate cancer, but when my dad looked at my husband, he said, "Oh, a son-in-law I can be proud of." And he loves and holds up my children the same way he does me. And that is very special. He works with me on my work around AIDS. He went with me to the Cameroon, but I have a wonderful husband.
And you're traveling tomorrow, 6 a.m.
6 a.m., I'm traveling to a literary festival in Anguilla in support of my book, my new book, Redefining Diva. Yes, I wrote this book, Redefining Diva, published by Simon & Schuster, and it's life lessons from the original Dream Girl, because I believe that diva has really been given, the word has just been maligned.
So what are we going to learn from Redefining Diva?
That the first, one of the best relationships you will ever have is with yourself and with your God. You must be able to look in the mirror and love what you see. You've got to embrace that person, respect that person, lift that person up. My grandmother used to tell me when I was a little girl that you must be polite, you must be educated, you must be able to sit down and have dinner with presidents around the world, because when you enter the room, the whole race enters with you. So I had to represent and make them proud.
Everywhere in your home, I see dreams coming alive. It's all about seeing your dream.
You live in America. Dreams come true. And people set you up for success. But you've got to be smart enough, educated enough, savvy enough to find it and grasp it. Because when they say the roads are paved with gold, it's up here. So what do you have? Iron shackles on your mind? Or can you see the road paved with gold?
Beautifully said, SHERLY. Beautifully said. Where is this beautiful spirit from?
Oh my gosh. I think it really comes from my ancestors.
Your Cameroonian
It
ancestors.
comes from my Cameroonian ancestors. It comes from in a yard. My folks who came from Cameroon and landed in Jamaica. It comes from the spirit of the world that just says, keep moving on, my sister. Keep moving on.
What would be your advice for stars coming up?
You know what? If you know that you're an artist, I'm a woman and an artist, and I know where my voice belongs. But if you know you're an artist, you cannot help doing this. Nothing's going to stop you. You're going to move every obstacle because it has to be done. I believe in education. I've said it before. I believe there's nothing like a well-educated artist. I say travel. I say see the world. If I didn't travel and develop my ear, I wouldn't be able to play that girl from the South, you know? I wouldn't be able to play that role as much as I can say to my brothers and sisters, you know, I am from Africa and I am proud of where I am from. That's all from traveling and being able to develop my ear, or to be a New Yorker, you know, because New Yorkers, they talk a different way too, you know, and sometimes, you know, it's like hard to tell. Are you from Brooklyn? Are you from Staten Island? You know, and from Queens. They all talk differently.
What about the struggling artists that come here to Hollywood with such huge dreams and they're just scrimping and saving to pay a rent, to pay for a room?
That's what you do. You pay dues and you start off at the bottom. But you got to know something you really want to know. Read my book. Read my book. It is all right in there, because show business is not for everybody, baby. A lot of people who want to be in show business need to find another dream, because this is not for the faint of heart. Show business is rough business, and it is not for everybody.
What is there left for you to achieve?
I'd like to be producing shows. I'd like to see conscious television, entertainment, that people can see other sides of who we are. I want to travel. I want to be able to see all the great things in the world. And at the end of my life, I want to rest my head on a pillow somewhere, and I want to say, good job, well done. Now you can rest, because you sure have been running, running, running.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for sharing all this beauty with us. How would you say in Jamaican you graced us?
We wouldn't say that. We say, you're bud. You're bud.
Shirley Ralph, you bad. You bad girl.
I am wicked.
You're a wicked girl.
Yeah, man.
Irie Heights.
Irie Heights.